It's to the point why I love and I hate you.
Thank you. What is going on, guys, and welcome to the vlog. Today is maintenance day, and I only do this every now and then, but I go over the entire car and just make sure everything's checked out a-okay. I know my front suspension is getting a little bit clunky, so I want to figure out what that is, and if I figure it out, replace it. So that's really about it for today. I was gonna go to the shop, but no one else is gonna be there, and I really don't feel like going there by myself. So right now, today's just gonna be spent as a maintenance day. So I got my coffee and we are heading back to the house. So I guess today's not the only maintenance day just for me. Working on the mower, but I bet your motor is bigger than mine. So let's be honest here. Little Briggs and Stratton. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna jack this thing up and we'll feel out the whole front suspension and all that stuff, because I know that that's where I want to start. I know the front suspension is a little bit loose and the rear is fine. There's nothing really wrong with the rear. It's just bouncy as ever and it sucks. But yeah, just gonna drive up onto some wood, get the front in the air, and then we can shake the wheels around and see if there's any play in them and go from there. So as I was jacking the car up and everything, car parts actually just showed up. Thanks, man, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Oh yeah. Car parts.
Car parts.
Alright guys, so I got the entire front of the car jacked up in the air on jack stands. The part of this maintenance day is just going to be going over all of the bushings, making sure they're all good. You can see the front of the car is up in the air. This is an absolute pain in the ass to do with AutoZone jacks. They just don't go high enough whatsoever, so you have to use like 2 different spots and jack them up and then move one to another spot. And long story short, I need a Harbor Freight jack. I need one of those ones that go a lot taller. But the problem side that I hear the most is from the driver's side, and it's a lot of chatter when I'm taking turns and a little bit of humming and stuff like that. So either the wheel bearing is bad. I'm pretty sure I know the axle is bad, because the last time I had this off, I could jiggle it a little bit from the inside shaft and it had play in it. So pretty sure the axle's bad. So, coming in here, looking at everything, I notice right away that, I don't know if you can see, but right there on the frame, you can see the axle has hit right here before. You can see the little spot on the axle where the metal has been kind of worn away, right here. So that tells me that the axle has hit the frame at some point. No surprise to me, my area where I live is absolutely terrible. But next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set you guys down and we are going to jiggle. We're going to grab the axle and physically try and move it. Feel that? So there is play in the axle. That is what I've probably been hearing for a while now, is the axle jiggling. I guess that means that my axle is bad. I don't think it's because it's not tight. I will check that before I take the axle out or start to take the axle out, but I don't think that is the issue. So before I start anything, I'm going to try and tighten the axle nut a little bit and see if that helps, and if it does fix the issue, then great. I don't have to take the axle apart and get a new one. But if it doesn't fix it, then we'll have to do that. Not a terrible issue. I have done it before multiple times, so it'll just take probably half an hour, 35 minutes to get the axle out. And I have a lifetime warranty with the axles at AutoZone, so I just go and get another one. Yes, I would be getting performance axles and stuff like that if I didn't already have the warranty, but since I do, I don't have to pay for them, so might as well keep using the warranty and just keep using up axles. So dang, that actually was pretty loose. Nope. See, you can still hear it. Even though the axle was slightly loose, I mean it was tight, but it wasn't fully tight. It still has probably like 2 or 3 millimeters of play back and forth, which tells me that internals of the axle are wearing out. So that means I need a new axle. It probably has a little bit more life to it, but I really don't feel like waiting anymore, just because it's annoying and it's making a lot of noise and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start to tear this axle out. All right. Axle is out, and it is most definitely dead. But it did pop out when I was pulling on it, so that's not from the car itself, that's just from me tugging on it. But all the internals and stuff, they have a shit ton of play in them, so better to get rid of it before it goes bad or fully bad, and then you have to fix more stuff because your axle broke. So funny thing though, as I was under the car and I was prying this apart, I noticed the passenger side has the same amount of play as the driver's side. So that means that axle's bad too. So now I gotta do it all over again on the passenger side. Thankfully the passenger side is a little bit easier to do because the axle's shorter, so it doesn't take as much force to get out. But I do have to do everything that I just did to the driver's side to the passenger side. So I'm not gonna film that just because this is already kind of boring. This is already kind of a boring topic, but it's just a routine maintenance day. I want this car to be like okay to drive on the road and isn't gonna fail on me and stuff like that. So I'm gonna pull the passenger side axle out now, and then after that we can go and get 2 new ones and we should be all good. Yeah, sure, the front door's fine. Who knew today was gonna be package day? So I have the driver's side axle out, things toast. Just finished getting the passenger side axle out, was also toast, while in the process of leaking a bunch of transmission fluid all over the floor. So while this car is down right now, I can't actually take it to AutoZone to get the new axles. So my dad's running some errands right now. When he gets back, I will be taking his car and the axles to AutoZone and we will get some new ones. But for now, I'm just hanging out. So I'll see you guys in a bit when he gets back and we can go to AutoZone. I'm not gonna go inside with the camera, but I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, boys, we got the new CV axles, driver's side, passenger side. So now let's just head back home, throw them on. Oh shit, boy. Let me know if you guys like Preludes. I like the generation with the kind of like the spacey kind of dash. I think it's really cool. My friend Steven used to have one. Petrie used to have one. It was really cool. All right, guys, so we are back home. Got both the new axles right here. Gonna start throwing them into the car. I'm honestly surprised I let them get this bad. Normally I'm a little bit better about it, but I'm glad I at least did it now, because if I didn't, they would just get so much worse to the point where they would actually break and I would break something else and it would be bad. So I'm glad that I'm doing it. I'm glad that today was finally nice enough. The entire last week it was like 90 to 100 degrees with like super high humidity. So working on a car outside was just like the worst thing to do. So I'm glad today is like a nice 75 with a cool breeze. So I'm just gonna jump right in and get these bitches installed because I want to be done already. This isn't fun work, it's maintenance work. But after I install these axles and get the whole front end put back together, I need to tighten up the exhaust, and I also need to mess with the alignment just a little bit because the alignment's a little bit funky. So let's do it. Driver's side is completely done. Took me all of about 10 minutes. Axle popped right back in, no worries. Everything's all tight. Actually, I have to tighten the drop fork bolt right here. But everything else besides that is all tightened down, all set, ready to go. I cannot wait to get rid of these coilovers. Dude, I'm like, every time I look at them, it pisses me off. So excited to get rid of these. So I'm just gonna torque down the driver's side and then I'll pop over to the passenger side real quick and then do that. And then the axles will be all set and I won't have to hear clicking and clunking and all that stuff when I'm driving me absolutely nuts. So today's been good. Really no hiccups yet. I love it when days go like this, when you're working on a car all day and you don't run into any issues or little to no issues at all. It's been one of those days. So it's a good day. So I'm gonna start in the passenger side. All right guys, so driver's side axle is back in. Everything's all torqued down, got the cotter pins everywhere. Same thing on this side, all torqued down, all set. This is super easy to do, putting it back together. Taking it apart can be kind of annoying because you have to pop the axles out of the transmission, but in terms of putting them back in, you just give them some, hard push and they go right back in. So with the main thing being done for this car for today, all of the bushings on the driver's side and passenger side seem to be good. So I'm gonna jump to the exhaust. I remember in the previous video, the 5 things I hate about this car, it has an exhaust leak. So I'm gonna go under the car real quick, see if I can see where it is and tighten things up, because when you put new exhaust components on your car, after a certain amount of time, you're supposed to go under the car and check to see if they came loose. So I'm gonna go down, re-torque everything if it's loose. If it's not, then whatever, I'll just live with the exhaust leak. But after that, I'm gonna try and mess around with the alignment a little bit. If not, it's not too big of a deal. But the main goal was just to get the axles put in, new axles, and that is all set. So this car should drive mint now. So right now I'm just gonna go under the car and mess with the exhaust a little bit. All right, so far so good. I don't hear any humming, I don't hear any clicking, so that's a positive. Sounds like the axles got fixed, and that was the main issue. So I'm pumped on that. Just hit a bump, no noises. I used to hear noises every time I hit a bump. Taking sharp corners, I used to hear clicking, didn't hear one right there. So overall, I think that this thing is mint. I think that it is set, and I'm stoked that I took the day to get this thing all prepped and taken care of. Driving a stanced car every day isn't the best choice, but it's my choice because I love the way it looks. I fucking hate this suspension though. It's gotta go, like, now. This suspension is so bad. Exhaust sounds better. It's still leaking a little bit, I won't lie, but it does sound better than what it did before, so that's a plus. Ball joints all feel good and tight. Wheel bearings feel good. Axles are now nice and tight, and the alignment feels pretty good too. It could be better, but no place near me can get this on an alignment rack. So I have to do it myself in my driveway. So it's not gonna be perfect because I'm not a perfect person. But for what it is, I think it works fine. So I'm sweaty, I'm disgusting, and I want the AC really badly. I've been outside all day. So I think that this is going to be where I end the video. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, this suspension needs to go. That's gonna be it for this video. I wanted to do some maintenance on the car, and it's all maintained, all set, ready for the rest of the season, hopefully. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.